Hello, my name is Caitlin Scarborough. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the Regional Council Manager for Birth to 5 Illinois, Region 9, which covers Champaign and Ford Counties. Thank you for watching Region 9's Early Childhood Regional Needs Assessment Virtual Report. This recorded session will provide an overview of findings from the Birth to 5 Illinois Region 9 Needs Assessment, as well as talk about the strengths, needs, and recommendations for improving access to and enrollment in early childhood education and care programs in the region. A link to the full report can be found in the description below. If you would like to turn on closed captioning, click the CC icon at the bottom of the video. This will turn on the captions. If you want a language different than English, click on the gear icon for settings, click on subtitles, then auto translate, and you can scroll down to pick the language you want. In 2021, the Illinois Commission on Equitable Early Childhood Education and Care Funding issued a report with findings that highlighted the inequities in early childhood funding in Illinois and the need to create a better statewide infrastructure to support early childhood professionals and expand services and programs for families and caregivers and increase enrollment in ECE programs. The report focused on the importance of addressing racial inequities and the need to include local voices in the conversation funders and decision makers were having about early childhood education and care. To provide a structure for communities, families, and caregivers to engage with the data and share their experiences, a new statewide infrastructure was created across 39 regions, all of which align with existing Illinois State Board of Education Regional Office of Education boundaries but operate independently. Birth to 5 Illinois regional boundaries align with school districts instead of strictly following county lines, which can be a challenge for gathering and interpreting data because many early childhood services are provided by or tied to school districts. Region 9 is located in the east central part of the state, close to the border of Indiana, and includes Champaign and Ford counties. It is the traditional home to the Peoria, Maya-Mia, Ochate Shakoven, Kakaskia, and Kickapoo tribes. Region 9 has larger municipalities such as Champaign-Urbana, the village of Rantoul, Paxton, and Gibson City. These municipalities are surrounded by rural areas consisting of smaller towns and townships. There is a plethora of farms in Region 9 where crops such as corn, soybeans, and other commodity crops are grown. Joining me in the Region 9 office is Jackie Charles, our Family and Community Engagement Specialist. The experiences and knowledge families, caregivers, and early childhood professionals gain while navigating the complexities of the state's early childhood education and care system are valuable, and understanding their lived experience in the local context is vital for decision makers to ensure communities have access to programs, services, and supports they need. To this end, Birth to 5 Illinois was created to harness family and caregiver voices in early childhood education and care and serve as a bridge between the communities and policymakers so families, caregivers, and professional experiences can guide the decisions made to expand or enhance services across the state. Our mission is to create a statewide regional infrastructure that will amplify input from communities in the development of policies and funding priorities. We support the mobilization of communities to build and sustain equitable access to inclusive, high-quality early childhood services for all children and families in the state of Illinois. We envision that our work will help all stakeholders reimagine a more equitable early childhood education and care system that respects family and community voice and works to ensure that it is centered and prioritized at every level of decision making in Illinois.
We have three main values and goals. First, we must prioritize family voice. Through this transformation centered on authentic family and community engagement, we will address the inequitable distribution of resources and services and rebuild our state's early childhood education and care system. Second, we must address the racial inequities that exist in our early childhood system. In an effort to move our early childhood education and care system, one where racism no longer impacts a child's success, we will work to dismantle barriers that have limited access to high quality services for minoritized children in every corner of our state. Third, we must use collective impact model to shift the current early childhood education system, to influence policy and funding at local, regional, and state level. Birth to Five Illinois will use community-driven feedback to build a system that harnesses knowledge directly from families and providers and encourages decision makers to ensure new and/or expanded services are created to meet community needs. Two critical parts of the new statewide infrastructure are family councils and action councils, located in each of the 39 regions. The councils provide feedback on quantitative data from the Illinois Early Childhood Assessment Map, better known as ICAM, and Illinois Network of Child Care Resource and Referral Agencies, better known as INCRA, to help conceptualize the data at the local level. The councils meet twice a month in virtual, in-person, or hybrid meetings. The family councils are comprised of parents and caregivers from a wide variety of family types, including single parents, adoptive and foster parents, caregivers of relatives, teen parents, two-parent families, multi-generational families, and more, to prioritize the voice of those who have not been involved in this type of work before. We want to highlight those who have been involved in Region 9 Family Council over the past year and thank them for sharing their experiences with the early childhood system. Their names are Amber Brancillion, Stephanie Burnett, Rita Connerly, Julie Duvall, Frederica Greer, Mary McNeely, Khadijah Weiser, and Stephanie Williams.
Action councils are comprised of early childhood education and care professionals, healthcare providers, faith leaders, elected officials, and other community members. Each action council reserved 2 seats for parent or caregivers to ensure family voices were included in every discussion. Action Council members were invited to bring additional aggregated data on programs and services provided by their agency or organization to complement data from ICAM and INCRA. We extend thanks and gratitude to our Region 9 Action Council members. They are Marguerite Bailey, Tanya Carter, Rachel Charters, Ha-Young Choi, Brenda Eastham, Donald Gill, Brandy Grants, Lily Jimenez, Nicole Kitchens, Lynn Odell, Kim Ray, Tyler Reynolds, Kelly Russell, and Jonathan Woods. Beyond the council meetings, additional qualitative data was collected community-wide through focus groups and interviews, and all council members were invited to provide input on each section of their early childhood regional needs assessment. Council members developed the strengths, needs, and recommended next steps that are unique to each region. Regional teams, along with the support of their action and family council members, created a dissemination plan and are holding community meetings virtually and in person to share their report's findings. The following slides highlight some data that was discussed by council members and provide insights into the early childhood education and care landscape in our region. Region 9 has a total of 14,238 children ages birth to 5. Region 9 has a total of 14 school districts serving young learners. There are identifiable communities of Hispanic and French Congolese individuals in Urbana, Rantoul, and Paxton. The median household income in Champaign County as of 2022 was $53,936, and in Ford County it was $50,582. Part of the conversation with council members were around priority populations, defined by the Illinois Early Learning Council as groups that have been historically underserved by early childhood education and care programs. In Region 9, the priority populations include children living in families in poverty or deep poverty, children of teen parents, children experiencing homelessness, children with welfare involvement, children with a disability, and children in families that face barriers based on culture, language, and religion. While data on children and families from priority populations is limited, there are a few things of note about Region 9. According to the 2020 census, half of the children ages birth to 5 lived at or below 200% of the federal poverty level, meaning that many of them were eligible for a number of state-funded early childhood programs. Those living at the highest rates of poverty, at 50%, are concentrated in the northern parts of Ford County, the village of Rantoul, pockets in Champaign-Urbana, as well as the southern parts of Champaign County. Additionally, in 2020, over 3,000 families in Region 9 were speaking languages other than English in the household. This number is estimated to be even larger now. Additional information about priority populations was gathered through surveys, interviews, and focus groups and is included throughout our final Early Childhood Regional Needs Assessment report.
Community collaborations are an integral part of the early childhood landscape. Local early childhood community collaborations bring together community agencies, organizations, and individuals with a shared vision or goal. They understand the importance of improving early childhood education and care for children, caregivers, and providers. Region 9's local early childhood collaborations include the Champaign County Home Visiting Consortium, Kindergarten Readiness Goal Team, the Champaign County Local Interagency Council for Early Intervention, and the Ford County Local Interagency Council for Early Intervention. The Champaign County Home Visiting Consortium is a collaboration of representatives from 8 home visiting programs whose mission is to build a system of care that supports expected families and at-risk children aged birth to 5 along with their families. The Kindergarten Readiness Goal Team provides a coordinated intake process to connect families more easily to resources and services and collaborate to provide a developmental screening for children ages birth to 5 in their service area. The 2 local interagency councils, or LICs, for early intervention, one each Champaign and Ford County, are a collaboration of families, community agencies, and early childhood providers that serve children aged birth to 3 and their families with a special focus with children with developmental delays. Having a well-developed collaboration has shown positive outcomes for children in the region. These local collaborations have applied for and received grants for both community and statewide level support to achieve their goals, which include equitable access to early childhood education and care programs, and an innovative network of providers and resources that aim to support all children and families in Region 9. More information on local collaborations and the work they're doing can be found in the Regional Needs Assessment. Region 9 is home to a variety of early childhood education and care programs and providers, all servicing children based on licensing, funding, and staffing requirements. But access to early childhood programs and services is not equitable for all region families. Waitlists at child care centers and the availability of child care in our region are significant barriers for families and caregivers. As one parent stated, I had my son on a waitlist for over a year and only received one phone call just to tell me my child was still on the waitlist. Families and caregivers reported that they were highly reliant on grandparents or other family members to provide childcare for their children. Some parents have had to quit their jobs or turn down career advancements due to the lack of available childcare and cited cost as one of the reasons they haven't used it. There is a program that families can apply to through the Illinois Department of Human Services, or IDHS, called the Child Care Assistance Program, or CCAP. This program provides families with limited access to financial resources and access to quality, affordable childcare while allowing caregivers to continue working and or completing their education. All families are required to cost share on a sliding scale based on a family size income. However, not all providers will accept CCAP due to delayed payments, and not all families want to complete the application, which is lengthy and causes difficulty to complete. There are publicly funded preschool options available in Region 9, such as Early Head Start, Preschool for All, and Preschool for All expansion programs. However, not all programs are full day, nor do they all provide transportation to and from the program, leaving many families who qualify for publicly funded preschool choosing not to enroll in them publicly funded program. Additionally, there are not enough spots for families to enroll their child in care across all programs in the Region 9, leaving some families with very limited options for childcare.
Through community meetings, focus groups, interviews, and surveys, families in the region reiterated the urgent need for more affordable childcare and preschool options, staffed with providers and teachers that are well paid, supported, and who will want to continue working in early childhood long term. Similar to other areas of the state, Region 9 is experiencing a staff and teacher shortage, preventing programs from operating at full capacity or expanding to meet community needs. Staff turnover is a big contributor to the workforce shortage, and it remains a concern among community members in Region 9. There are many short-term caregivers who are interning to receive a degree or working long enough to gain experience and then leaving childcare centers for better financial opportunities. A common reason staff leave the ECEC field is compensation, wages, and benefits. Typically, childcare centers and family childcare homes offer the lowest wages. Wage increases most often are available only with a promotion, such as a teacher aide being promoted to a teacher. Due to the grant funding process, publicly funded programs can usually offer somewhat higher wages, greater benefits, and periodic or performance-based increases that fee-for-service childcare programs cannot. Staff working in Region 9 shared that staffing shortages are elevating the symptoms of burnout in the remaining staff. While children are needing more from staff than prior to the pandemic, other responsibilities such as planning, documentation, and child assessments have not been reduced. As some individuals leave employment, the remaining staff experience even greater stress. As a result of the workforce shortage, Region 9 has limited options of programs and resources for children ages birth to 5. This is essentially true for children in rural areas, many of them who do not attend a program until kindergarten. In more rural areas of the region, many parents and caregivers are utilizing a family member or friend for their childcare needs. This means if the family member or friend is not available to provide childcare, parents and caregivers are unable to work outside the home or have to take off work during times when a family member or friend is not available to care for their children. Others have been forced to patch together their child's care, with some time covered by a friend, family member, and enrollment in part-time childcare. Parents who work second and third shift are especially impacted by this. Community and council members identified several strengths of the early childhood system in the region. For the sake of time, I will only share a few. The greatest strength in the region is strong community support in both Champaign and Ford counties, and the willingness of community members to come together to share resources and insight to meet the early childhood education and care needs of children and families. There are several informal collaborations that provide support and do intentional outreach to populations that struggle to access and acquire various support services. For example, in Region 9, there is the Butterfly Project through Brightpoint, the Crisis Nursery, Easter Seals, and the Immigration Project, just to name a few. Another strength is the Champaign County Regional Planning Commission, which is the Workforce Development Program, Mobile Workforce Center, Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, and Homeless Prevention Rent Assistance, among other related programs offered to serve residents of the county. The two major hospitals in Champaign County, Carl and Order of St. Francis, have mobile units that administer preventative health services such as immunizations, pre-screenings, and physicals. Community and council members also identified challenges and opportunities for growth in the region as well. For the sake of time, I will only share a few. Early childhood educators in the region need wages equal to other teaching counterparts, along with benefits such as health, retirement, and paid time off. The aim is to increase the pool of qualified ECEC workers. There's a need for more affordable and accessible infant and toddler care, and a region-focused public transportation system focusing on areas other than the municipalities of Region 9. Based on community and council conversations, recommendations have been made on how early childhood education and care programs and services can be improved for families in the region. Recommendations will be presented to lawmakers, state agencies, local elected officials, and funders so they can better understand the needs of families in the region and share the recommendations with them so they can see how to best meet those needs. These are a few of the recommendations made, but more can be found in the Regional Needs Assessment. Recommendation 1. Increase the capacity of family childcare homes to provide second and third shift care. Currently, there are limited to no childcare options for families in the region who work second or third shift jobs and resort to relying on friends and family to care for their children while they work. Recommendation 2. Develop incentives to encourage individuals to obtain education or credentials in ECEC to fill staffing shortages. With the current teacher shortage crisis, many established agencies have had to close childcare center locations or refrain from expanding services due to the lack of staff. This has increased the gap in the number of slots available for eligible children looking to enroll in early childcare services. And recommendation 3, increase accessibility and affordability of mental health services for families. Mental health service providers continue to struggle to staff and support the mental health needs of their communities. This is with knowing the number of individuals seeking mental health services has only increased since the pandemic.
This summer, we will be out in the community talking to more families, providers, and stakeholders about their experiences with early childhood education and care, and we want to talk to you. We invite community members, families, and early childhood professionals to join the conversation by filling out council interest forms. Please go to www.birth25il.com/councils or click the link in the description to get involved. Interest forms will close later this summer, with council meetings fully resuming in August.
I want to thank our state partners for their support and you for watching. We encourage you to stay in touch with us by visiting our regional page at www.birth25il.com/region 9, joining our Facebook group, or reaching out to me via email at cscarborough@birth25il.com. Links to our pages along with my email address are available in the description below. Thank you for your time. We look forward to connecting with you soon.